Maintain my enthusiasm because I do know who I am. I know that I'm African American. I know that my ancestral history is in Africa, likely West Africa. And I know that my African American history, culture is valid. So coming here, I bring my validity as an African American and say, okay, let me look around.
But then you must be disappointed in a sense, aren't you? I mean, when you first come, I mean, if you consider the attitude of a lot of people even towards African Americans, they don't necessarily feel like these are brothers from over there.
I'm not disappointed. And I'm not disappointed because I didn't come to find myself.
Because you knew yourself before you came?
I knew myself before I came.
But do you know that category I'm talking about?
I do. I do. And the thing is about that is that we must recognize who we are. That we are a strong, valid people of 35 million African Americans with a common culture, a common language, a common history, a common music, a common art. We are a people of our 35 million African Americans. That's more than Ghana's population.
Can the relationship between African Americans and Africans really be a catalyst for development?
It must be.
How?
It must be.
What about it?
Well, it happens because when we see that, again, if there are 35 million African Americans, we're getting several hundred thousands of them in Ghana every year. We bring capital. We bring the experience of our 300, 400-year history in America and say, look, we survived this way. We bring our knowledge, we bring our skill, we bring our money.
Where else do you go? Where else do African Americans go in Africa?
African Americans go to East Africa. And they go to South Africa. South Africa is comfortable. It has the high rises, the highways, the conveniences.
They should be able to relate to that better, shouldn't they?
But it's frightening for African Americans.
Why?
Because of the history of apartheid, their civil rights, their human rights issues in South Africa.
It must awaken almost.
And the association with our civil rights struggle. When African Americans go to South Africa, we feel a pain of a remembrance. When we come to Ghana, we see a hope in a future. And I think that's the difference.
Is that the attraction of Ghana?
That's the attraction of Ghana. The attraction of Ghana for African Americans is that we can come here, we're very comfortable here, that people look like us in every possible profession that we come. And we can then share and find ourselves with them to grow. We can say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I'm a communicator. And I can find those who look like me, who can catch my vision, I can catch theirs, and we can grow and we can tell others, there's a place in Africa that we can invest, we can come, we can grow, we can be who we are to share with others and to share back.
What are some of the things that you feel could threaten, if you like, the ability of this nation to move forward?
I think what becomes threatening is inconsistency of message. If we start saying that we want investors to come, there's an enabling environment, we want African Americans to come. One example, particularly for African Americans have heard the history of Africa, we've seen all kinds of things on television, we're now coming to see for ourselves. However, if you say to African Americans that Africans in the diaspora have a right to abode, and you say come, and then they come, and they have great difficulty getting residence permits, starting businesses. The difficulties
conflicting signals.
Conflicting signals. It's the same for business. We can't have conflicting signals. We must be consistent, and we must work out the implementation issues and problems to say, this is what we've said, and this is what we're going to do.
I would have thought that was an easy thing to do.
It's not easy. It's not easy because of the history. People have come so many years in trying to make things change and be different. The human capital issue. We don't change our minds about things overnight. We don't change our genuine thinking. We may change our behavior for a minute, but the way we really think doesn't change overnight. So we must continue to reinforce what we think. I think that if we have a change driver at the top, and that change driver says everything that we do will be in this line, and everyone must follow this line and this vision. And we don't, although you may not decide to do it today, you must consistently change your behavior. Then over time, we will see that it supports what is said. But if you give a change, it's the change process. It's the change process. We will always go back to what's comfortable.
And then you also express concern about what you describe as the lack of, spirit of, if you like, volunteerism.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
Volunteerism, I think that volunteerism is taught, is recognizing that everything we do in life is not for money. Everything we do is not for money. We must be willing to do things for others.
There's a big focus on money, isn't there?
Yes, it is. And many times people think that if I'm coming to do something for you, I have a hidden motive. When in fact, we don't always have a hidden motive. We may want to serve.
It's hunger. It's driven by hunger. This attitude is driven by want.
Yes, but unfortunately, when you've come from hunger, you must recognize that there are those that are still hungry. So for nothing, not expecting anything back from them, you go and pull them and help them out of hunger. If all you have to give to them is a hope, you see I'm here, you can make it as well. Let me help you through. Let me show you. Let me just educate one person who I don't know.
We don't do enough of that.
No, I don't think so. Because what I sometimes see is that when you're doing something and you're going someplace to give, just out of the goodness of your heart to give, people say, no.
It can't be.
It can be. What do you want out of this? What's in it for you? And you say, there's nothing in it for me.
They say there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Oh, it is for certain people who are givers. It's free to them. It's free to them. Someone is paying.
This is a serious thing.
It's a very serious thing. Someone is paying. I'm paying. I'm paying with my time. I'm paying with my energy. I'm paying with my care for someone. It's free to you, but I'm paying. And it's okay. I don't expect anything from you except a hope for the future. And if looking up to me and me being positive and me always looking up and me always encouraging you to come up, that's enough.
This is realistic?
It's very realistic. It's very realistic because when you ask about why am I hopeful, why am I optimistic, it's because if we can stay so, somebody will just watch our gleam. We don't know who's watching us, David. We don't know who's watching. And we are here for everybody else. I have to say, it's service. It's service. And I believe that we serve God by serving our fellow man. If I can't just be hopeful for you, you just catch my enthusiasm.
What you do to instill this sort of spirit in people? I mean, you can't teach that, Vicky, you know?
You just show it. You just don't give up. You just don't give up. You continue.
Example?
Example.
Just a part of example?
It's just example. It's just example. When people see you overcoming obstacles and not giving up, they say, well, what is that? Why do you just hold on? Because there's hope. There's always hope. Where there's life, there's hope. There's always hope. So you just hold on. You continue. You look up. It may be dark today, but be assured there's light. Somewhere. You may not see it. There's light.